Let's look at the first question for today's session. The first question is there on your screen. So I'll give you the next 5 minutes to try and solve this and get the answer, get the arrangement, and then we will go about solving the question. So this question, you have to arrange people in a row, and also you have to find out the relationship between them. Now what is given here? There are 7 family members A, B, D, E, F, H and K sitting in a row facing the east. There are 2 couples in the family. There is 3 generations in the family. Okay, so 3 generations in the family, correct? So the first generation, second generation and a third generation. So this is the first generation, second generation and third generation. The grandson of the family, who is the only person in the third generation, sits exactly between the grandfather and the grandmother. So there is only one person in the third generation, and that person is going to be a boy or a male. So in this question, what I am going to do is, wherever I see a male person, right, I am going to put a B, and wherever I see a female person, I am going to put a G. The notation that you use when you are drawing the family tree, you are free to use any notation that you want. You can use +4 boys and -4 females as how we do in our video lessons, or you can use M for male and F for female. I leave it to you what notation you are using. I am going to use B and G, where B stands for a male and G stands for a female. So now they have given that there are 3 generations in the family. The grandson of the family, who is the only person in the third generation, sits exactly between the grandfather and the grandmother. Okay, so there is one grandson, he is the only person in the third generation. Then when you look at the first generation, there is a grandfather, right? There is a grandfather and a grandmother. Now we don't know who they are. Okay, then now I am not going to look at the seating arrangement now. First I am going to try and find out the blood relation, and then after that the family tree. Basically I am trying to draw the family tree, and after that I will look at the arrangement, okay, and arrange them accordingly. Now next, what is given? A sits on the immediate left of H, who is the sister of K. So A sits on the immediate left of H, who is the sister of K. So what does that mean? H and K are siblings. Now one more thing that is given here, let us keep that there. See, it is given here that D is the daughter-in-law of E, who is on the immediate right of F, and she is in the first generation only with one person. So what does this statement mean? See, D is the daughter-in-law of E. So D should be in which generation? D definitely has to be in this second generation, correct? Why am I saying D is in the second generation? See, D cannot be in the third generation, and it is given that D is the daughter-in-law of E. So E has to be in the first generation and D has to be in the second generation. Now one more thing what they have given here is that E, who is on the immediate right of F, is in the first generation and is only with one person. So this statement means that in the first generation there is E and only one more person. So there are only 2 people in the first generation. So from now whatever we have read, we know that there are only 2 people in the first generation. There is only one person in the third generation. So all the other people whom we are looking at have to be in this second generation. And we know in the first generation it's a couple who are there, a grandfather and a grandmother. Now next, now look at this statement. What is given here? A sits on the immediate left of H, who is the sister of K. So what does that mean? H and K are siblings, and where should they be? They have to be in the second generation. They cannot be in the third generation. Why? Because we know that in the third generation there is only one person. They cannot be in the first generation, because we know in the first generation there is only one married couple, a grandfather and a grandmother. So H and K have to be siblings who are in the second generation. Then so A sits on the immediate left of H, who is the sister of K. So H is the sister of K means H is a girl. Then next it is given that D sits on the extreme north end of the row. Okay, I am not using that now. D is the daughter-in-law of E, who is on the immediate right of F. So D is the daughter-in-law of E means, see, D has D's husband is the child of this couple, and now I know where E should be, correct? So again, what is said about E? See, it is said that E, who is on the immediate right of F, and she is in the first generation only with one person. So very clearly that means that E is a female in the first generation. So in the first generation, E and her husband are there, and D is the daughter-in-law of E. So basically E has a son whose wife is D. Next, now let us look at this. Only one person sits between the son of K and the maternal uncle of F. So son of K means who should that be? Son of K should be the person who is in the third generation. Correct? So this K is the one who has a son. And now if you see here, one more statement they have said that E has only one son and one daughter and one of them is unmarried. So K has a son and D is the daughter-in-law of E. So definitely these two have to be the other married couple in the group and this has to be the male. Correct? See, it is given here that E has one son and one daughter and one child is unmarried. So here K has a son. So definitely K has to be married, and it is also given that E's daughter-in-law is D. So K and D must be the husband and wife. So in the question they had clearly given that there are two couples. So the one couple is the grandfather and the grandmother. The next couple has to be K and D. And it is also given that E has one daughter who is unmarried. So that has to be H. And K has a son. Now we need to know who is K's son and who is this grandfather. We'll come to that. Next, what is given? Only one person sits between the son of K and the maternal uncle of F. So maternal uncle of F means, where should F be? That means that F has an uncle. Correct? If F has an uncle, he definitely has to be the person who is there in the third generation. Then only he is going to have an uncle. Correct? As per the given information, see, we have to fix F, we have to fix the person here, and we are left with only one more person. So if F has to have an uncle, F has to be the one who is in the third generation. Now after this, after you have fixed F, now what is given? See, it is given that B is not in the second generation and sits exactly between D and E. So B is not in the second generation means in which generation should B be? See, third generation is filled. You only have one person to be filled in the first generation and one person to be filled in the second generation. If D is not in the second generation, B is not in the second generation, B has to be in the first generation, and so B has to be the grandfather. And now the last person we are left to fill is the maternal uncle of F. Maternal uncle of F means who? F's mother's brother. Correct? So F's mother is D. She has a sibling. So sibling means I am putting a single dash. Okay. Married couple means I am putting a double dash. So D has a brother. Now who is that? Who are we left with? We are left with only one person in this group, that is A. So A has to be the maternal uncle of F. So this will be the blood relations diagram that you get. Okay. I hope it is clear. So this is the blood relations diagram that you get. Now based on this, I am going to try and arrange the people in the row. So here, what is given here? You have to arrange them in the row. Now it is first given that, see, people are facing the east. So they are going to face this direction. Now the first thing that they gave was D sits at the extreme north end of the row. So this has to be D. I can fix D. So all the other persons are going to come after D. Then what is given? See, it is given here that the number of persons between B and D and B and E is equal. Okay. So first I am fixing the position of D. After that, next thing to note here is that they have given the number of persons between B and D and B and E is equal. Okay. Now, first information in this full statement that they have given is that the grandson of the family, who is the only person in the third generation, sits exactly between his grandfather and grandmother. So who is the grandson in the family? F is the grandson in the family. So F is basically sitting between B and E. Okay, so this you know from the first statement. Now here they have given that the number of persons sitting between B and D and B and E is equal. So how many people are sitting between B and E? One person is sitting between B and E. So the same number of persons have to sit between B and D. So now if I know this is D, there has to be one person in between followed by B. So I can fix B this way. Correct? See, how am I able to fix B? Here it is given that the grandson, that is F, is sitting between B and E. Correct? The grandson F is sitting between the grandfather and the grandmother. Once that is given, and it is also given that the number of persons sitting between B and D and B and E is equal. See, B and E are the grandparents. In between grandson is sitting, that is one person is sitting. Similarly, in between B and D also only one person should sit. Now, if I know that D has to be the topmost person in the row, then B has to come here, correct? Between D and B only one person has to be there. And then where will be E and F? So this has to be F and this has to be E. So this much you have filled now. How many positions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 2 more places left here. Totally we have 7 people in the family. Now next, what is given? D is the daughter-in-law of E, who is on the immediate right of F. Yes, that we have fixed. Everybody is facing this direction. E is to the immediate right of F, and then only one person sits between the son of K and the maternal uncle of F. So only one person sits between K and maternal uncle of F. Who is maternal uncle of F? Maternal uncle of F is A. So only one person sits between K and A, means A can have 2 places. Either A can be here or A can be here. See, it is given only one person sits between F and A. So either A has to be on the top or A has to be on the bottom. We have to fix that again. Okay. Now next it is given that E does not sit in any extreme end. Yes, that you have already satisfied here. E does not sit in an extreme end. Then look at this statement. What are they saying here? A sits on the immediate left of H. So A sits on the immediate left of H means, see, I told you I can place A in 2 positions, right? Either here or either here. So 2 cases are possible. But they have given one more statement which says that A sits on the immediate left of H. So A sits on the immediate left of H means, can A come here? No. If A comes here, it is between B and D and H is nowhere close by. So this arrangement will not be possible. So A definitely has to come here, and so this has to be H. Now if this is the case, A sits to the immediate left of H, that condition is satisfied, then you are left with this last position. So who is going to come there? Who is the person whom we have left out? It is K. So that is the arrangement for K. D, K, B, F, E, A, H. Yes? B is not the second generation, sits exactly between D and E. See here, they have given 2 statements, okay? It is, see, this particular statement is a bit actually confusing, but what here they are saying that the number of people between B and D is same as number of people between B and D. That is what they are also meaning. See here, if you take D and E, okay, between D and D, how many people are there? 3 people are there. Exactly in the middle, B is coming. That's what this statement means here, okay? Even though it is actually a bit confusing because they have given 2 similar statements. So you will have to look at this statement also. See, you should not take B sits exactly, B is not in the second generation and sits exactly between D and D. If you take it like this, then the assumption goes wrong, because you will have to look at this given statement also, where they are saying that the number of people between B and D and B and E is equal. That actually obviously means that how many ever people are there between D and E, B is in the middle. Okay? Yes. So let us look at the questions that follow. Who is the grandson of B? F is the grandson of B. Correct? Now, who among the following sits 4th to the right of F's grandfather? So who among the following sits 4th to the right of F's grandfather? First of all, who is F's grandfather? F's grandfather is B. So 4th to the right, see, this is, they are facing the east, means this has to be your right and this has to be your left. 4th to the right means 1, 2, 3 and 4. So who sits 4th to the right of F's grandfather? It is going to be H. Yes. Who is the father-in-law of H's sister-in-law? So who is H's sister-in-law? Who is H's sister-in-law? H's sister-in-law is D, correct? See, K and H are siblings, and K is a male, H is a female. So H's sister-in-law is the wife of K, that is D. And who is the father-in-law of D? Mother-in-law of D is C and father-in-law of D is B. So the correct answer for this question is option 2, that is B. How many females are there in the family? So how many females are there in the family? See, I have 1, 2, 3. 3 females in the family. So the correct answer here is 3. Yes.